It was a time of innocence. The year was 1959. A small Canadian town, Clinton, Ontario, was shaken to its core. 12-year-old Lynne Harper vanished. Last seen near the local Air Force base, her disappearance sparked a frantic search. 2 days later, her lifeless body was found in the nearby woods. The idyllic image of childhood shattered, a community thrown into turmoil. The hunt for her killer began. The investigation focused on the Air Force base. Military personnel became immediate suspects. Among them, a young airman, Alexander Kalichuk, known to have a troubled past. His history of indecent exposure, his struggles with alcohol fueled suspicion. However, the investigation took a sudden turn. Attention shifted to a 14-year-old boy, Steven Truscott. He knew Lynne. They were classmates. He'd even given her a bicycle ride on the day she disappeared. He admitted to seeing her, to saying goodbye as she walked towards the highway, but he insisted on his innocence. He was adamant he had nothing to do with her disappearance. His pleas fell on deaf ears. The evidence against Steven was circumstantial. There were inconsistencies in his story. The prosecution painted him as a troubled youth, prone to fantasy and lies. The defense argued for his innocence, citing a lack of concrete proof. But the doubt lingered. The community, desperate for answers, found solace in a scapegoat.
The jury deliberated for only 10 hours. The verdict sent shockwaves through the nation. Guilty. Steven Truscott, a boy barely old enough to understand the gravity of the charges against him, was convicted of murder, sentenced to death. The death sentence was later commuted to life in prison. He maintained his innocence throughout. The fight for justice had just begun.
Years turned into decades. Steven Truscott became a symbol of a justice system gone awry. His case drew national attention. New evidence emerged, casting doubt on the original investigation.
Forensic experts questioned the accuracy of the time of death. Witnesses came forward with conflicting accounts. The possibility of an alternative perpetrator, like Kalichuk, resurfaced.
Public opinion shifted. Support for Truscott grew. In 2007, after almost 50 years, the Ontario Court of Appeal overturned his conviction. He was acquitted. The court acknowledged the flaws in the original investigation, the miscarriage of justice he endured, but the cloud of suspicion remained. The acquittal, while a victory for Truscott, did little to solve the mystery of Lynne Harper's murder. The real killer, if not Truscott, remained at large.
The passage of time had taken its toll. Witnesses had died. Evidence had been lost.
The investigation, marred by inconsistencies and tunnel vision, offered few new leads.
The case took another turn with the emergence of a new suspect, Larry Talbot, a career criminal with a history of violence against women. His connection to the area, his modus operandi, eerily similar to the circumstances of Lynne's murder. But with Talbot's death, the trail ran cold. The Harper Truscott case remains a chilling reminder of the fragility of justice. It exposed the flaws in a system that could condemn an innocent child. It highlighted the devastating impact of wrongful convictions. And it left behind a trail of unanswered questions.
Did Steven Truscott, a 14-year-old boy, commit a heinous crime? Or was he a victim of circumstance, wrongly accused and robbed of his youth? Was Alexander Kalichuk, the troubled airman, involved? Could Larry Talbot, the career criminal, be the real killer?
The truth, lost in the passage of time, continues to elude us. The Harper Truscott case remains an open wound, a tragic story, an unsolved mystery.